Okay, thank you, team, for the impressive presentation. I have just one question for you. Tell me the biggest risk that could break your scenario about a take-home bank.
Thank you for your question. We're so happy to answer that. Among the risks to take-home bank's valuation, we identify liquidity risk as one of the core risks at the moment. Because as we can see from the slide here, there has been a widening gap between credit and deposit, which reached a high of 6.6% by September of this year. And it has also made the LDR of Market 1 to reach an alarming threshold of over 100%, which has not happened in nearly a decade. And the reason why we believe that it is such a core risk for take-home bank's valuation is because of the rising cost of fund that it costs due to the rising cost of fund that it's caused and due to the fact that most of take-home bank's customers in CASA are retail customers in retail CASA, and therefore they are extremely interest rate sensitive. And
so I add up with the answer of my friends. The bond market risk is also one of the key risks for take-home bank. Moreover, that is a pressure on the NIM. Well, now this is in the high interest rate environment, and we can see that first with the cost of fund, we forecast that in this year the cost of fund will definitely increase. Moreover, we see one of the signature of take-home banks that the CASA ratio of take-home bank is very high. It is the take-home bank advantage in the normal interest rate. However, it's also the disadvantage. It's also a sign for take-home bank that it has to increase in the competition, in the right competition with all the banks to raise the cost of fund to keep the money in the system because of liquidity risk, as my friends say. Moreover, in the side of assets earning yield. In the side of assets earning yield, now we can see that there is also a lag between the increase of interest rate between cost of fund and earning yields. Moreover, in this high interest rate, we forecast that it still keep raising interest rate until 2024, which means that it can lead to the demand of credit to decrease. So in the meantime, take-home bank will have to reduce the assets earning yields, reduce the assets earning yield, the lending rate to attract more loans to the company. Yes. So that is our answer. Thank you.
Hello. I have several questions. First. What do you think about the pros and cons of the so-called supply chain financing? That take-home bank, I think, is one of the first bank applied. Do you think about think in terms of risk and return of that so-called practice, supply chain financing? And my second question is that, given the challenges of the real estate market at the moment, do you think it's time to risk on or risk off?
Thank you so much for your question. So I would like to answer the first question. So the so-called supply chain financing of take-home bank, especially when it focuses specifically on real estate, many people would think that is a so-called concentration risk. However, the way we see it during our analysis is that in this particular sector, take-home bank has the best know-how, and they know how they would do it best and with whom it would do best with. It particularly choose V-Home the leading developers in Vietnam. And currently, we do not think that any banks or any other entities would have such a partnership with Vinhomes that could not only gain Techcombank the exposure to their targeted affluent customer base, but also offer them a wonderful chance to harness all the profit from financing real estate projects. And for the second question of yours, which is about the challenges faced by the real estate market. So we believe that all the bad news, all the difficulties in the real estate market has already been priced into Techcombank valuation. And we remain very conservative that the real estate market will not increase as fast as the previous year, but in the future with Vinhome projects and their actual demand, their high absorption rate, we believe that real estate of Techcombank would still be a lucrative sector in the coming years.
I would like to add another point that while we acknowledge current difficulties in the real estate market, we will also want to emphasize that Techcombank's key partners is Vingroup and Vinhomes. They are the number one real estate developers in Vietnam with not only real product, real residential product, real customers, and also a high debt service ability. And these are the reasons that maybe while the RE market may face stagnation, but Vinhomes and Techcombank will resiliently survive.
Yeah, thanks Steve for the very good presentation. I'm an investor, so a few questions for you. Firstly, the upside potential, 37% as first expectation here looks very attractive. But for how long is the investment horizon? Is it 1 year?
Yes.
Or 5 years?
Thank you for your question. Well, our target price we set is the 1 year target price. However, with our models, we use to discount from 5 years and the terminal growth rate too. We can see that the environment right now is hard. But the key thing is we survive. If we can survive, which means we can grow. So that is our price when we discount from in the next 5 years back.
Okay, thank you. The second question, that if the real estate market in Vietnam becomes stagnant for the next 3 years, what would that change? What would that impact on the view on this stuff?
Thank you for your question. So in the scenario that in the next 3 years, the real estate environment is still stagnation. So as our view, we still view that until 2024, we will see the potential growth back. We see the rebound back with Techcombank. And moreover, what we see here is not the whole real estate. We see that is the key core business of Techcombank is about the residential and supply for the residential sector. And with that, we see that the meters per people in Vietnam have a house is very low. And with Techcombank, with all the product of Vinhome do, so we believe that it will serve for that demand, for that huge demand of residential house. It's not like the second house for investment. It's a really bad residential. And
yeah, for that affluent segment in the real estate market in Vietnam that Techcombank is serving, how much is the potential demand in Vietnam in the next 5 years?
Well, due to the lack of information, we haven't we haven't have enough information to count all of that number of demand. So I will let my friends to.
Although the exact number we cannot give you, but in the forecasted period, Vietnam will welcome more than 40% of the population joining the rising affluent class. So we believe that the demand for housing will be huge in the future, which leave Vin Homes at the forefront of capturing growth by developing their projects. And we believe that with the sales capacity, construction progress of Vin Home, as has been proven in the past,
Team, time's out, please stop. Thank you, team, for your
Yeah, thank you.
performance.
Thank you so much, Judges.
Judges, you now have 5 minutes to fill in your scoring.